When I was a boy growing up in Athena, Mississippi, 40-odd years ago, the public library occupied a large one-story house built in 1842. The town bought it in 1903 and converted the front rooms to one large space, full of bookshelves, chairs, tables, and the checkout desk. Windows with shades protected the books and furnishings from the sun. I remember it as a cool, slightly dusty place where I could roam among the shelves to find all kinds of treasures. There was a feeling of age, of time reaching back deep into the past in that house, the way a library should feel, I've always thought. I moved back to Athena from Houston a few years ago, and after I settled into my late Aunt Dottie's house, I made a beeline for the library. To my dismay, I discovered the town had built a new library, a larger facility with little character and no distinguishing features. Think 1980s municipal bland. The old library sat empty and ill-kept, like a derelict widow who had outlived all her family. I never drove or walked past the place if I could help it. If buildings could look sad, this one surely did. As much as I missed the charm of the original building, I would admit, if pressed, that the new building had a few advantages. More than one toilet, for example, and space bigger than a broom closet for an office. The new building provided several offices for a full-time staff of 6. I shared one of them with Lenore Battle, a cataloger, the days I volunteered. Having been head of a branch in the Houston system before retiring, I could turn my hand to just about anything that needed doing at the Athena Public Library. Sometimes I catalogued, my preference, but more often I worked reference or the circulation desk. Today I was filling in at the reference desk for the head of the department, who was off for 2 weeks on a well-deserved vacation. Teresa Farmer was a good friend, and I was more than happy to help her out. A few hours doing reference on a Friday was no burden to me. Another good friend, sitting at my feet under the desk, chirped at me. I reached down to rub his head. "You're a good boy, Diesel, for being patient while I work." My almost 3-year-old Maine Coon cat gazed up at me. I knew that look well. Recumbent on the carpet, he had been napping, but now he wanted to visit his library buddies. "It's okay. Go ahead." I scratched behind his ears, and he stood and stretched. He rubbed against my leg as if to say, "Thank you, Charlie." Diesel weighed almost 33 pounds now, and he was still not quite fully grown. I had thought he might top out at 20 or 25 pounds, but he kept growing, and he wasn't fat. I remembered a woman I knew slightly in Houston, Becky Karatsine, who was a breeder of Maine Coons. I emailed her through her website to ask about Diesel and his size. She was rather taken aback because she had never seen a Maine Coon so big.